Hi, and welcome in Encounter Counter. In this serial video, I try to give you some one-shots or encounters ID for your tabletop RPGs or D&D games. I usually try to give you a small story, a few NPCs, and a map or two if need be. In this video, the theme will be a ghost town, and our story will be centered around a small town where some pretty spooky stuff are happening. So, to set the scene, the party either hears about the town a bit before, hearing about a rumor about a small town that everyone in it vanished at some point recently, and it's a pretty spooky mystery, and maybe they will want to investigate that and go. Or they also could be traveling from a big town to another big town and stumble upon this small village in which no citizen seems to be living. So as they arrive in town, the village is in pristine condition. It seems like a perfectly normal village until they notice that there is no inhabitants. No one can be found in the village. It's completely empty. If the party wants to investigate a bit more, they might go into some houses and find that the doors are mostly unlocked, that foods are on the table. It just seems like everyone vanished. Upon investigating a bit more, they might find that the tavern is completely empty, the blacksmith's forge is cold, but it seems like it was just left there. It seems like everyone was just willingly left, but in the middle of the day doing their job. After a bit of investigation, when you notice that it's kind of running cold and the party isn't running in circles, you can describe that the sun is starting to set. And as the sun is setting, some ghosts and spirits start to appear, first one, then another, and the entire population of the village seems to be back as ghosts for the night, enjoying a drink at the tavern during the end of the day, just like they would if it was a normal day with normal people. They can go and try to talk to the ghost, and the ghost will mostly not notice them, and if they try to talk to them, they will answer, but for them, there is nothing weird. They cannot be convinced that they're a ghost because they don't know that they are, and trying to convince them wouldn't work. They're they're sure that they are good living people going for a drink. After talking to a few of those ghosts and enjoying a bit more the night and maybe going to get a drink with some local ghost in the tavern, a scream will be heard by the party. That is the first murder happening. Upon arriving to the scene of the murder, they will notice that it's not a ghost that's been murdered. There's a body. It's a young woman, and she seems to have been killed ritually, a stab wound through her heart, but weirdly enough, upon a good medicine check, they will notice that the body hasn't just died just now with the scream. It's dead for at least a week. Investigating a bit more, they can now notice tracks on the ground. They lead to the house next door, as you will see on the map later. Investigating in that house, they might find out that there is a secret room. And in that secret room, they will notice that there is a statue of Baal, an evil god worshipped by one of the villagers. And they might, and you might want to give that information already to them so that it is a bit more apparent, especially if those are newer players not accustomed to have too many puzzles thrown at them, that there is a pentagram that you can draw to them. It's just an inverted 5-pointed star. After investigating a bit, they will hear a second scream. And as you will see on the map, it's in the second spot for a murder. Another one. A young man this time. Investigating a bit more, the crime are rapidly accelerating. The third one, then the fourth. After the fourth crime though, the entire town is now on edge. No one knows who it is, and so the crimes slow down, giving your adventurers a bit of time to try to solve where might strike next, and who might it be. Not everyone can be gathered, people don't trust each other, and thus it's not possible to keep track of everyone. People not willing to be in the same room as the potential murderer. Wouldn't it be the best way to get killed? If the party finds out where the last murder will happen, deducing it from the information you've given to them, the murderer will be one of the ghosts, the ghost of a cultist that decided to do those ritual murder to placate his god Baal and gain his favor. Doing so, going to the murder before it happens and trying to stop him, it will use the ghost stat block from the monster manual. You can also use a custom-made stat block, or you can have more than one ghost. You can have more than one cultist. Depends on your party's level and how challenging you want it to be. You can always modify this. If the party does find out where the murder is gonna happen, they can then try and stop it, and stopping it, they will notice that every other ghost starts to become more tangible, slowly turning back to people. You have stopped the ritual, the unending ritual, and thus have saved the entire town. The town will be cheerful and the party will have made a great thing that day. But the people that died already died, and thus they will never be recovered. The other possibility is that the party doesn't find out. Then you have a choice. Either you could make it so that the party member become part of the village and just fade away when the sun comes out, and have another chance to try and save the town the next day. But they have one more chance before they completely become ghosts and part of the town and are incapable to do any more action. Their first night as ghost will be the only night as ghost, because it will repeat the same for them every night. So they have one more chance to save the town. Or you could have that when the ritual is finished, more difficult encounter happens where more ghosts attacks the town. For example, wraith or some ungodly demons attacks the town after the ritual, and stopping that demon could save them. You're the DM, it's your choice. Those two endings could bring some different aspects. You either could give them another chance to solve the puzzle, or it could give them another chance to defeat the enemy if they died in the first encounter. But bringing a demon might just make it a bit more exciting to have a big fight against some big evil. It's your choice. Now for the map. As you can see on this map, you have the multiple different murder locations numbered in the right order with the pentagram drawn for you as an easier reference. There is a version without any annotation and without a pentagram in the description. The different letters point to different important places. There is a document in the description giving the details of those places. You can see the different access to the town, and it could be useful to you. So, to recap this little encounter, the party arrives in a small village in which no inhabitants can be found until sundown, where ghosts and spirits start to appear through town. After an evening of reveling with the ghost villager, a scream will be heard. A murder has just happened. Investigating, they will be interrupted by another scream, and a third one, a fourth, before it slows down. Investigating and trying to figure out if the murderer is going to strike next, they will or will not, depending on your party ability to solve a puzzle, find a way to prevent the last murder. Upon succeeding, they will save the town. Upon failure, they will have to relive that night again. Or you might decide that failure will simply give them another stronger enemy. For example, a fiend or a demon to fight that has just been invoked through the town. I hope you enjoyed this little video. This was Encounter, and I hope to encounter you later. Have a good one.